Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to J Raids and welcome to another brand new Raid Shadow Legends video. And in today's video, I want to showcase to you guys one of my personal favorite arena champions, and that is going to be the Queen of Hearts. She was a legendary Void Affinity champion that was released during the Alice event, and I am super fortunate to have her on my account. And so I want to showcase to you guys how she is super cool, and not only super cool, but also very good in today's Mercurial meta as well. So I'm going to break down the kit, why she's good, talk a little bit about her build, and then we'll jump into the arena and really see what she's all about. So starting with her kit, she brings three very fantastic abilities and effects that all work very well today. Let's start with the A2, off with their heads. This is a buff strip that places a death brand on the target and then places a true fear debuff on all enemies for one turn, and then fills this champion's turn meter by 5% for each buff removed by this skill. Now, what is really good about this ability is, one, of course, it does come with a buff strip, but two, it also applies Death Brand, which, if you guys don't know, Death Brand is a relatively uncommon debuff. I believe only two champions in the game can apply the Death Brand debuff. The other one being a mythical Arn, one of the newest mythicals that has been released to the game. But this Death Brand debuff is basically a block revive effect. So whenever champions under Death Brand debuff uh, are killed, they will receive a block revive debuff. And as you guys can know, there are a plethora of revivers in the game right now, especially with Mercurial. So, of course, having the ability to apply Death Brand is very good. Now, what is also very good about Queen of Hearts is that she also comes with a ally attack. And this ally attack is actually quite nice, where of course it has teams up with all allies to attack a single enemy, but before attacking, she also places an increased attack buff on all allies. And then in addition, on her A1, which she will do first with her ally attack, she also places a decreased defense buff on all allies. So why this is good is, one, of course, ally attacks, generally speaking, are very good at dealing with Mercurial, because in one turn you get to place at least, 4 to 6, 7 hits all in one turn. And of course, it's only 3 Mercurial debuffs on at most, or maybe there's only 2 when you do it, or even only 1. And this is a really good way of guaranteeing that you, one, either punch through all of the Mercurial buffs, or sorry, the total guard buffs before you get to your nuker's turn, or you have a way to kind of one-shot champions that do have total guard through 3 stacks. And it also has a little bit of an effect where it decreases the cooldown of her A2 by 2 turns if the target is killed. So if you are able to go A2 into A3, so the Death Brand into ally attack, which is also a great way of ensuring that the target with Death Brand is killed, you also get to reset your A2 again, and you kind of get to cycle through. Now, what also really makes her kit very awesome is she has an ability to kind of cheat turns, or cut in, however you want to think about it. But for every 10 buffs the enemy receives, grant this champion an extra turn. Now, there are, every champion at this point in time in the arena has like 1 to 2 buffs on them at the start of the round, whether it be Stone Skin, Total Guard, Lightning Cage, bolster sets, shield sets, the Volcardiac Heart Shield, right? So each champion is coming into the game with 2 to 3 buffs, just off the rip, and then any other buffs that get added on, whether it just be like an increased attack or an increased defense, increased accuracy, whatever it might be, she is going to get an extra turn. And this extra turn actually cuts in between other extra turn effects. Hopefully we'll get an opportunity to showcase for you guys today what I'm talking about. But essentially, if Marius opens up with his A3, which places out 2 buffs on all allies. So, you'll basically get to activate the Queen of Hearts ability. Now, Galloping Thunder gives him an extra turn, as you guys might know. So Marius goes A3 into his A2, right? But in between this granting the extra turn, Queen of Hearts will get to cut in, and she gets a turn, which then you can use the strip or the ally attack, right? So it's actually very potent against very specific champions within the arena. And of course, in Classic Arena, most champions are opening with their buff abilities. And so you can kind of pick and choose good fights for your Queen of Hearts. Now, as you guys know, extra turns, turn meter fills, that sounds fantastic for, you guessed it, the Mercurial set. So of course, because she is able to generate extra turns, generate additional turn meter with her cleanse, she's a fantastic candidate for the Mercurial set. Of course, the Mercurial set also protects Queen of Hearts from polymorph effects. So even though she has, a place decrease defense on her A1 and a buff strip on her A2, well, and decreased defense on her A3, really. So every ability that Queen of Hearts does makes her open to polymorph, which is negated by Total Guard and Mercurial. So I have her relatively fast. She's about 340 speed, and I really try to emphasize on her accuracy. I got about 700 accuracy in total, and she's pretty squishy, all things considered. But I do want to try to pump up as much speed and accuracy as I can in order to, one, ensure that I do get the buff strip, but two, to have enough speed where there is some level of play around for her, especially when it comes to things like live arena, where players can play around her turn cutting in passive, where she still has a decent amount of speed, so she can still go at an relatively early-ish time in the turn cycle. Ideally, I think I'd have maybe a bit more speed on her, but I'm missing 20 speed from the 6-star blessing, as well as the arena, or as well as the faction guardians, another 10 speed there. So another 30 speed on her, and I'd feel pretty happy. I don't think there's anything really to say about masteries. I have Eagle Eye down here for a little bit of extra accuracy, and I also have both counterattack blessing or masteries on her, which are fantastic at dealing with Total Guard as well. And then finally, I have a Temporal Stagnator on her. Again, the idea here is, even though she doesn't actually benefit from the effect of Temporal Stagnator, it's still very good on her because it provides both accuracy and speed while also having 3 gem slots. So without further ado, let's jump into the arena and let's see if we can find some teams where she can really shine. Let's see. So for example, we have a team here that is Fabian, Marius, Hilvy, as well as Geralt. Now, this is a little bit tricky because when I am thinking about designing a team against this, I know that the Fabian is going to go first. So even though there are a lot of buff champions that do apply buffs, such as the Hilvy, such as the Marius, they're not going to go first before the lockout happens, which makes this a little bit awkward. So what I'm thinking is I need a way to either, one, deal with the Fabian before the Queen of Hearts goes, or two, I bring a faster lockout, which I probably don't have, or I bring my Crixia. I'm going to try to not bring my Crixia here, and we'll see if we get punished as a result. So I'm going to go in with a relatively interesting team here. And we'll see if it pays off. But I'm going to use my Alo, as you guys can see, big Alo fan. I'm going to use my Alo to kill the Fabian, and then I'll just have Marius and Queen of Hearts to finish it off. Who do I want in the lead here? I'm just going to have Alo, just so I can ensure that I am able to kill the Fabian, and we'll kind of see. Loading in. And I think Queen of Hearts is definitely very good against Marius, so we'll hopefully be able to see the interaction here. I am able to go first. I am able to kill the Fabian, and boom! All of a sudden, the whatchamacallit right here, the Hilvy places out her block damage, increased speed, and I'm just gonna go in with the strip here to try to remove some of the buffs. Okay. So I'm unable to actually clear off the buffs, but that's okay. Hopefully, we'll see who goes faster here. It's our Marius, so it doesn't really matter. But we'll just kind of go in, and we can clean up shop here. Let's see what we want to do here. He's not locked out, but I'm not confident that I can actually kill the Geralt here. So we'll see. Yeah, that's a bit annoying, but not much we can do here. So we'll just kind of sit tight and wait. And I mean, this match is over. So unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you wanna look at it, I was able to cut in with don't steal the counterattack. But I was able to go faster than their Marius. Now, of course, if the Marius had gone first and applied his buffs out there, then I would have been able to cut in with my Queen of Hearts. So we're gonna try to find another match after this Garrel takes her again. If I forget her, takes her sweet time and not wanting to fall apart. And we'll just okay, yeah, you got it. Uh-huh. That's okay. All right. Maybe I'll cut this in editing. But all right. We're coming up here, almost there. And as you can see, another nice thing against specifically Geralt, the Mercurial working in as well. But that was pretty nice. Let's try to find another team. What's another team here? We could try it against this team. Let's try it against this team. So we have Cardial here, who places increased crit rate, increased damage, block revive, or block debuffs, and revive on death. We have Glycea. She places block debuffs. So we'll try to see if we can get something going here. Now, if I bring in like a lockout champion, for example, I think that kind of neuters the kind of whole purpose of Queen of Hearts. So there's a little bit of funny anti-synergy going on there. So in this case, I'm just gonna go in with my Neve, and we'll kind of get to see stuff. But I was gonna say if I bring in like a lockout champion, and then all of a sudden these guys can't place buffs, then it kind of like defeats the point of bringing Queen of Hearts. So there's a little bit of tension or a little bit of anti-synergy because it's obvious that lockout is very powerful right now and almost a necessity in terms of arena teams. So it can be a little bit tricky finding certain spots for her, but in this case, we'll see how things play out. So let's see, what do I want to do here? There's not too much to do. I'm just going to go with the ally attack, and I'm going to maybe just kill the Glycea, and then that'll just trigger the Sigfried, which is nice. So as you can see here, Glycea has 2 stacks of total guard, and I am able to punch through that with my ally attack, and then the Marius closes things up with the Soul Reap, which is quite nice. Okay, let's try to strip some buffs off here. Unlucky. Okay, and let's go in and see if we can clean up. Oh, that was interesting. Interesting interaction there, because the Solnar gained a buff when my Marius stunned her. She got an extra turn because it ticked to 10. So that was kind of interesting. And let's go in and try to clean things up. So unfortunately, the who'd-you-call-it, the Solinar reduces or has damage mitigation because of my Marius' extra turn. So unfortunately, I was not unable to actually land there, and I can't actually place Deathbrand on Solnar either. So that's fine. Doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna do A1, kind of clean up house here, and we'll conclude things here. But you guys can see how what happened there? I don't even know what happened there. Okay, Solinar just killed himself off of something. Maybe the reflect damage? I don't know. Anyways, you guys can see there that it's nice to have an ally attack into the Mercurial as well, but still not the best showcase here. Let's see. I'm gonna try to find a team that is a little bit more telegraphed, and we'll hopefully get to see some magic happen. What's a team that places some nice amount of buffs? Oh, this is a nice team. So we have Marius, we have Marichka, we have Galathir, who all place buffs, right? So we have Marius placing the increased defense and increased accuracy. We have Marichka, who places weaken and shield, and then we have Galathir, who places block debuffs, right? So we're going to come in with a similar-ish team, And do we want Marius as our damage? So we can even drop. Let's try to mix things up here. I'll throw in. Yeah, why not? We'll just try to mix things up here. I'm gonna throw in Rotos, Sifi just for a little bit of fun. And then what do I want here? I can still go Eve. I'm likely going second, but I kind of want another damage dealer here. Maybe I just go like I like to rotate a couple of champions. So let's try something like this and see how it goes. We have increased attack that is going to benefit from the Rotos. This is a fantastic opportunity. Hopefully we'll see that they have 2 champions in 9-piece Mercurial. So I'm hoping that I'm able to have a decent showcase here. I'm going to go in and I'm going to now, of course, I could, I could wait to prioritize the A2 for once Marius does his ability. But the tricky thing here is because of how Mercurial works, you can't actually strip any buffs when the target has Mercurial on. So it's actually a little bit awkward. I'm actually going to try to kill the Marius here because he has Mercurial, and that's kind of annoying. So we'll see if I'm able to punch through here. No, that wasn't even close. Wow, that was a bit far off, right? But we got rid of the Mercurial stacks, and now we do get an extra turn here. There's honestly not too much we can do. Like if we do go for the buff strip, I'm not actually doing all that much. But we could try to buff strip the Carnage, or I can just go in for an A1. I'm just going to A1 here, and we'll see where that gets me. So, yep, he goes in. Ooh, he has a Stormcaller. That's not good. But we do have the cut in here. Kind of go in and... Ooh, where's my damage? What the heck? Wait, where's my damage? I did no damage to that Marius. That's not good. Right. Ooh. All right. Get a cut in here. So I'm going to go in with the A1, and that's going to give me a little bit of turn meter as well. Hopefully we get to our guys here. I'm just not dealing any damage. Oh, but we do get a cut in. Fantastic with our Rotos. Let's eliminate the Marius here. Oh my god. Huh. Wow, that Marius is so tanky. Okay, I guess we lose. But wow, that was crazy. Huh, okay. I'm gonna swap out the guy was so tanky somehow. I'm gonna swap out Rotus, unfortunately. But I was definitely surprised by how tanky that guy was. And I'm gonna bring in I'm going to bring in Solnar. I think this one's a little bit awkward because it's it's like if I just bring in Fabian, and assuming Fabian is faster, I probably just win on the spot as well. So I think there's some recognition here that it's kind of a side grade overall to just the whole like lockout archetype. But I think it's good in arena where you can combine that with other things, right? So you can combine your Fabian with Queen of Hearts, and that can be quite annoying for your opponent. Now this one is actually quite interesting, where I actually got the counterattack first with the Solinar, and then I was able to actually place my A2, and that actually gave me a block revive, which was quite handy. So yeah, so I think there's some consideration there where it's like, yes, yes, Queen of Hearts is very good, but it's definitely hard for her to place, I would say, a lockout champion in terms of effectiveness. Now, of course, against teams that do place buffs and have less less like lose on the spot against lockout, I think there is definitely more space for her, like against someone like against what's the name? Like the chicken, like Gallius, right? Who places buffs but isn't necessarily afraid of being locked out. This team unfortunately is completely like vulnerable to lockout. So we'll try to find a team that I'm looking for, team that I think I can call out. We'll see. Do. Or we can try something like this. We'll try this team. But we are going to come in with I'm going to come in with the Crixia. In this case, I believe that the who'd the Yumeko is going to go first, and I'm going to come in and reset myself. In this case, I think this is an interesting one because for me, it's hard to make sure that I am going to be faster than the Yumiko. And in this case, this is even more interesting, right? My opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 buffs placed out. Like he has 14 buffs at the start of the round, and I got an instant turn with my Queen of Hearts. So I actually get the opportunity to go first here, and I am just going to try to ally attack and see what I can do. I could also go for the strip, and that would remove a lot of the buffs that are being placed out, but then I'm probably want to save the strip for when the Gallius goes. So I'm just going to try to take out the Nell here and see how much damage I can do to the Yumeko here as well. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. Oh, I got a double attack. Oh, but I also go first. Well, that's a little awkward. How did I outspeed this guy? I don't even have a speed aura. That's a little bit embarrassing. But I think that was interesting, right? That was cool. You guys saw that and that was cool. Let's try to strip this guy. Nice. We got the true fear out and he got feared. So another cool piece of utility here for the Queen of Hearts. We're going to go in, we're going to reset our ally attack, and we're going to quickly end things here. The chicken, very, very good at being very tanky. And we'll make sure that we go in for the kill. Now, if this fight was longer, the block revive is actually quite handy here because, well, one, maybe I didn't lock out the Yumeko and the Yumeko is faster, but then I reset and I can still able to place the block revive. Then that can help me to just win out the fight that way as well. But still not quite what I was wanting. Let's see. Let's try to find a nice team. I want to try to showcase how this champion can be better than Lockout, but there's also situations where she's not going to be as good as Lockout, and that's kind of like a kind of gotta trust your gut there with a few. Let's try this one. We have Teresh Merchka, which is, you know, kind of lockout prone in the sense where Taras can just, you know, spam his his A2s, right? And so I'm going to hopefully showcase where the block revive is going to be pretty handy because, and then we also have Nice, right? Nice doesn't care about being locked out. He can switch into his form too and be able to revive people. So hopefully we'll get to showcase how I can both strip some of the really good buffs that he's going to be placing out, as well as showcasing the block revive here in this map. Mercurial, very good against Cross, being able to soak up his counterattacks. I guess we'll try to go in for a strip here and see if we can just knock out some of this stone skin. We'll try to place the block revive on our Marius, and we do get it. I think he will cleanse, right? Oh, he doesn't cleanse. Very cool. With the Marius, I get another ally attack, and I'm going to go in and I think I will kill the Marius regardless of targeting him. So I'm actually going to target the Nice here. See if I can deal with it. Yeah, so I was able to kill the Marius, and unfortunately I don't. Oh, I killed the Nice. I don't know how I did that. Wow, you learn something new every day, don't you? But I was able to place the block revive on the Marius, so the Marius will not be coming back from the Mrichka. And I can play this out. Oh, I cut in. Huh. Okay. Well, let's see. I'll showcase something fun for you guys. Pow! 484,000 damage. It's turning into Solinar showcase video. But yeah, the being able to strip off the stone skin and then getting the second turn, extra turn to kind of go in to kill and go in with the ally attack, and then Solinar, classic Solinar things where hitting someone triggers a turn meter boost to trigger a counter attack, right? So classic Solinar. But let's see, who else is this good at? Let's try a stronger team here. We have very strong team, but I'm going to use what is, I think, what is just classic arena things to my advantage. I know I'm going to lose the speed race here, and so their Crix is going to lock me out, right? I'm going to bring in my Crixia to reset my skills, and I'm going to use my knowledge of Gizmak. So when Gizmak is not locked out, he's going to be placing buffs, and I'm going to use that to my advantage to come into Queen of Hearts. So we're going to see if this works out for me. And then, of course, if I place Block Revive, it's going to help me against the revives from both the Nice as well as whatchamacallit. Where's my... Oh, I guess my stone skin got stripped off. That's a little bit dangerous. But there's the extra turn, and I got stone skin back. That's fantastic. I could go in with the ally attack here, and I think that's okay. But he's gonna flip, or he's gonna take an extra turn, right? So maybe I don't go, because he's gonna take an extra turn, but Solinar might not kill him. I'm just gonna go in with the ally attack here, and or do I? Tricky. I'm gonna go with the ally attack here because I want to save my A2 for when the revives come in. So I'm just gonna sit tight and be a little patient and wait to use the A2 for when the Theodosia brings everyone back. Unfortunately, we have to sit through what is the classic nice. Actually, I might just be able to kill the Theodosia here. Oh, I love Volnar. That is so cool. Okay, and let's see. We'll probably get a... Oh, okay. Huh. Okay. Huh. All right. Let's see. I get a little bit of a decreased defense here, and that's gonna help me to make sure I kill the Nice a little bit easier. We'll switch forms with our Galathier and just end things cleanly. He does have a chain breaker, so I'm not going to use an ability. And we're just going to make sure we get the kill here. Okay, well, we'll do one more, but let's find a team where we can take out Solinar, because he's obviously doing way too much. Way too much. One more refresh. Okay, I'm gonna try this team here. We have the classic the Sifi plus Fabian combo with Marius and him. So we're going to take out our whatchamacallit, our dude here, and we're going to do a little bit of hedging. So I want to have the option to take out the Fabian if I am somehow faster or slower, or if somehow the Fabian is slower than the Sifi. Because if the Sifi is faster than the Fabian and she does her boost and buff, I can then cut in with the Queen of Hearts to kill the Fabian. But in the case that Fabian is actually faster than Sifi, I do want to have a little bit of insurance for that. And we'll bring in the Embrius, because why not? So the goal here is we have Fabian to get rid of, or we have Aelil to get rid of the Fabian if Fabian goes before Sifi. But if Sifi goes before Fabian, then I can just wait on the Queen of Hearts to go. And hopefully we'll see. Okay, so it does look like here that the Sifi is actually faster than the Fabian, which is good. Which means I don't actually need to kill the Aelil if I don't want, or I don't need to kill the Fabian if I don't want to. I'm still gonna do it, because that gives me a stone skin back. But we'll see here that that Queen of Hearts does her A2 as expected. And then we can kind of go in here with our ally attack. I'm going to use this ally attack to actually trigger the Embrace, or not the Embrace, but the Siegfried passive. And a really cool thing about Alo when combined with Queen of Hearts is that Alo's A1 steals buffs. So I was actually able to not only proc the passive, which gives him a 2-turn block damage, but my Alo is also able to steal it. Very handy. And then I think the fight's over at this point. I'm just going to go in and make sure I lock out these guys out by placing the block active skill. And then in the game. Cool. Awesome. So there, I think I just made sure that I hedged my bets there. And I think that was a pretty good showcase overall. I think I tried my best to incorporate different matches that was able to highlight all different parts of Queen of Hearts kits. I will say that through this video, I do realize that it's hard to compare her in a vacuum, especially in Classic Arena where there's only 4 slots and it's so limited. Where I think a lot of fights, someone like a Fabian, right, or a Queen of Heart or a Crixia, kind of do a very good job of just locking them out and not having to worry about, oh, what if they start buffing and blah blah blah, right? But there is that added utility of Queen of Hearts to have that block revive as well as that ally attack that is very effective against Mercurial, and so it just offers an alternative way of playing the meta in case you maybe don't have Fabian or Crixia. The block revive is also just very useful because even though most champions are susceptible to getting locked out, things like Marichka, right, can still revive without needing her skills up. Champions like Nice can revive. Form 2, his Form 1 gets locked out. And overall, there's a lot of utility in this ability. And of course, she is incredibly tanky and has very high survivability because she can be built in 9-piece Mercurial without needing a super speed heavy build, right? A build like this would never work on Fabian, for example, because it's just. And then I think in live arena, there's definitely a lot more threat to her as well, being able to choose her into buff heavy champions, champion Leafy, Arbeus, Marius, whatever it might be, and have her pair alongside a lockout champion. So she has an added utility in live arena as well. But I hope that this showcase video broke down some of the cool aspects of Queen of Hearts for you guys and why she is one of my beloved champions that I like to pick in the arena. If you guys do have her, let me guys know how you guys are playing with her. And if you guys don't, hope you guys had a little bit of fun with me today and maybe learned something about Queen of Hearts in case you do see her in your arena matches. But love you guys so much. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys, and take care.